Hey everybody, what's up and welcome back. And today I got a great video for you. We are going to talk about my new Vibe Maverick 120 SUP fishing kayak. It is phenomenal. I love it. It's really awesome, and I'm going to show you guys how I have it set up, show you how I like to run things on it and how I like to fish it, and hopefully some of this stuff will help you guys out for people that are either interested in buying one of these Vibe Maverick 120s or already have one and trying to figure out ways to rig it up. So stay tuned because we're going to dive right into it. Things I want to talk about is just how awesome these kayaks are. I mean, I really have fell in love with this kayak. It's amazing. I actually have fell in love with Vibe. This is my third Vibe that I own. I actually own a Seaghost 130, Seaghost 110, and then the Maverick is my latest acquirement in my fleet of Vibes. I love them all. They all have great purposes. I love fishing out of them all. It's really tough sometimes to decide which one I even want to take out when I want to go. But I really wanted to dive into this platform because this is really starting to become my favorite. I just love how stable it is. It's just super solid. It's super comfortable to be off for a long time. For a guy like me that has injuries and stuff, this is a really great platform. It's easy to move around, and I just really love it a lot. So I just want to talk about a few of the features and some of the stuff about it, and I'm going to talk about Vibe a little bit and just show you guys kind of how I run it and how I like to do things on it. And it's kind of how I have it set up and how I like to fish it. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we want to talk about is the platform itself. The platform itself is super stable, and when you buy these, they don't come with all this stuff. It just comes with the kayak itself, and it comes with a stand-up paddle, not a kayak paddle. It comes up with the one blade, and it's adjustable. It's a really nice paddle that Vibe gives you. Super cool. I don't use it. I actually sometimes I'll tie it on as an extra, but I actually just run a regular kayak paddle on it. And I do recommend that whatever paddle you guys end up choosing for one of these, don't get something shorter than a 240. I have a 240 now, and sorry about the noise. I'm filming this right by a road in front of my house because out back I just wasn't getting the right color, so I apologize for the noise. But anyway, I'm actually getting ready to step up to a 250 because I think that's going to be better for me. But it really just depends on you. But first thing, we're just going to talk about the stability of this kayak. It is so stable. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that phone interruption. It was the girlfriend. She's on her way. Yeah, it's not always funny how it works. Like when you're in the middle of shooting a video and trying to do stuff, you usually have tons of traffic, which I usually don't normally have on this road, and I have phone calls. So that's just how it rolls. But anyway, we're going to get back into it. So back to the stability of this platform. This thing is super stable. I am 5'9", about 220 pounds, and I'll fall off of it before I flip it over. I mean, that's just how stable it is. But I can literally stand up on it, move around on the deck, have zero issues. And I have a bad back and shoulder, bad neck, and my balance is off because I've had a couple of traumatic brain injuries. And yeah, so I'm not the most stable guy in the world, and I can stand up with this and I feel fine with it. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. So really great platform, super solid. And for you guys that are looking for something that's just super stable that you can stand up and sight fish and stuff from, the Maverick 120 will serve that well. I will say that there are some things that you need to get to make it the ultimate fishing thing, and I'll tell you kind of what I did and how I started fishing it originally as we walk around and show you stuff, and I'll show you how I have things rigged up and how I have everything on the kayak But that's the one thing I want to say is that this was phenomenal. Now this is a 2018 model, and what's really cool is that any of the leftovers from 2018 right now are on sale for $100 off. So if you get a 2018 model, you can save yourself $100 from Vibe. I actually got all my Vibe stuff from Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters. Big shout out to Bob. Got his hat on. I am actually on Bob's pro staff, and I got my kayaks before I was on his pro staff. Yeah, he's phenomenal. I love being a part of that team, and I love these kayaks, and I just fell in love with these, and they've been great kayaks, and Vibe is phenomenal. Bob, you're awesome. Love you. Big shout out to Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters. I'm going to stay on your pro staff for life, because it's just awesome group of people to be around and be involved with. So yeah, so if you guys are in the Virginia area, just to get this out of the way, Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters has 2 locations, one in Amherst and one in Moneta. The Moneta one is right, it's like just a couple miles from Smith Mountain Lake. That's the new location, and one in Amherst is the original one. He has all kinds of stuff there. He doesn't only sell Vibe, he sells all kinds of other kayaks as well. And yeah, check him out. He also has a website, and he's on Facebook and all that good stuff, so you can check him out at www.bobsupthecreekoutfitters.com. so do that. So alright, so there's my sales pitch for Bob. Alright, so moving on. Yeah, so the reason why I decided to get one of these was because I really was interested in how high the Larry chair is set up. Now, I love my Sea Ghosts, and I love them, and I fish them all in the high positions, but, you know, because of my back and stuff, I still struggle sometimes, you know, getting up and down, because I have issues, and I wanted something that kind of set me up a little bit more. And it had nothing to do with stability, it had nothing to do with the comfort of the seats, because I love those seats, and I can fish in those seats for hours. But I really wanted to try this out. I was really curious. So when I first got this Maverick, unfortunately I was at the grand opening of the Moneta store at Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters, and he had donated the only Larry chair he had left to a group of guys to give away, and so I ended up getting this Vibe cooler right here. Now, I love this Vibe cooler. We'll get into that later, and that was my seat for the first time I ever fished on it. Now, I will say this. That seat worked fine, and it got me through the fishing that I was doing for the few hours that I was doing on it, but I wouldn't recommend that to anybody but really young people that can handle it, because by the time I was done sitting on that thing for a few hours and stuff, my ass was sore, my back was killing me, my neck was killing me, shoulder, everything hurt, and I could hardly function the next day. So yeah, for people with injuries, I don't recommend using the cooler as a seat. They do make a pad for it you can get, and maybe that'll change it, but yeah, it was not a good idea for me. It was a really bad idea. And I paid for it, but, you know, I caught some donkey fish, so I really can't complain, you know. But for you young guys and you young bucks and everything, hey, more power to you if that's when you go. And if you don't want to go this route, then that is more than enough. And for you young guys that got super awesome balance, you can even stand on top of that as a platform. And I've seen guys do it, that they stand on their coolers, and it's another height to give them on these things because they're so stable. So yeah, really cool thing about that. So yeah, so I ended up pulling the trigger on this because I went ahead and did the 2018 because getting $100 off the kayak, because you guys know they're what are these $8.99 I think is what they are. You know, it's saving you $100, so you get it for $100. You know, so yeah, that was a really sweet deal, and couldn't go wrong with it. And I immediately took this thing right after the event and took it to Smith Mountain Lake and went and fished it and hammered some big fish, and it was such an amazing paddle. I mean, these things paddle and track so well, so solid, so much fun that I can't say enough about it. Just a great platform. So for you bigger guys that are looking for something that's more solid, this might be a way for you to go. For you guys that like to really stand up and have stability, this Maverick 120 may be your ticket. I do recommend trying one out and seeing it, but make sure it's got like the Larry chair on it and it's kind of set up, you know, to where you can really see all the creature comforts that you can have and really check it out. Phenomenal platform, and it's really easy to rig up, you know. And as far as storage and stuff, I solved that problem because, you know, the only thing that the Maverick comes with, it has one little storage hatch in the front, and it's not really a dry hatch. It's semi-dry, but it does get some water in there when you're flipping it up and down. It doesn't really get water in there when it's splashing over the top, but from opening and closing it and getting water on your deck and stuff, water does get down in there. But it's really not a big deal because it's not that bad. I had my phone in there the whole time and have never had an issue, so no big deal. So now I think we should get into the walk around, or maybe I should just, yeah, maybe we get into the walk around and we'll just talk about everything and talk about it as we go, how this goes. yeah, let's do that. Let's get into the walk around and start talking around. So I'm gonna do a walk around and we'll kind of go through the whole thing from front to rear, and then I will come back to you and we'll finish up. So let's make that happen. All right, guys. So I kind of want to start at the front and work my way back a little bit. So we're gonna start right here. I'm gonna probably be bouncing in and out of here. I hope that's okay. But I just want to go down the whole line, left and right side. So for starters, you got a nice carry handle right here on the front. This kayak is 75 pounds or sup, whatever you want to call it. And then you move back, it's all got nice deck padding on it. I love the deck padding on it. It's super soft and comfortable to walk on. It's got these bungee straps right here to strap stuff on. And then as you move down right here, you got a rail mount that you can mount whatever you want on there. You can mount fish finder, whatever you want to mount on there. I put my GoPro up there. And then right here, this is my kind of my carry tow handle type thing. So I made this, it's a leash, and basically this is what I use if I want to get off of it and hook it up. It runs back here. I keep it hooked right here so it's not falling off the kayak, but basically I put 2 carabiners on it, tied it up, and basically I can clip this to my belt. So if I'm fishing in the river, or even if I'm in the lake and I want to get off and get it and I don't want to lose my kayak, I just grab this and I clip it on my belt, and then it's not going anywhere. I also use this as a stand-up assist, so it's strong enough that I can pull on it and help myself stand up and sit down, because I'm old, broke, injured dude, so sometimes I need that. So it's a great little thing, really cheap. You can get 2 carabiners at Walmart for less than $2, and then some thick rope. And a really simple, easy fix. I think it cost like $3 to make. Yeah, and like maybe 5 minutes of my time. And that's only because I had to burn the rope ends after I cut them. So yeah, so that's what I got right there. And then we're moving down this way a little bit. And I'm gonna move this camera as we go, so to kind of make it a little easier here. So we're gonna move down to here, and let's go right here first, so you guys can see this. Let's move right here. So there's the hatch. So still, you got all this nice Vibe padding, and it says Vibe across it. Super awesome. Then you got a storage hatch right here. Really don't have anything in there, and here I'll show you guys so you guys can see inside of it. So there you go. That's the storage hatch there. It's actually a little wet in there right now because I was out using it, and that happens. But real easy hatch to go. And if you want to throw your phone in, just throw it in a plastic bag and stick it in there, or get a dry bag and stick it in there. But yeah, I don't do that. I just stick my stuff in there. No big deal. And then you got to screw it back down and lock it, and we're good. So then we're going to move down here. The next thing I got going on here is I got my Omega rod holder. I really like these Omega rod holders better because you can lock your rod in place. So when you're paddling or whatever, you can just click this over, and then your rod's not coming out of there. If you flip over, you're not losing your rod. You're not going to flip this thing, I promise you. You're not flipping it. It's not happening. You'll fall off of it first. But these are super nice because it's easy to get your rod in and out of. Just pull it up, stick it in there, stick it back in there, boom. Really easy to move around down here. If you need to adjust it and move it, you just pick it up, you unscrew this, slide it up and down to wherever you want to go, put it back, then you stick it back on there, and then you lock it back in place and you're good to go. This is all adjustable too, so it's really awesome. Great piece of equipment. You should always have a few on your boat. I'm actually going to get a couple more, but I'm going to get one more. I don't really need that many because I got them back here, but they're super awesome. If you want your rods to face backwards, you can do all that stuff. So yeah, so let's move down a little bit further. So now we're going to get to some of the meat and potatoes here of this. So the meat and potatoes of this stuff, and this is probably the stuff that you guys really want to see, is first off, if you get one of these, and hold on a second. Alright, I'm going to sit and talk so you guys can see me a little better. I'm going to throw that down now. If you guys get one of these Mavericks, you definitely want a Larry chair. I recommend these. Phenomenal, super comfortable. The seat folds down. These actually collapse up and have their own carrying case, so if you're worried about storage and stuff, they fold down flat, and you just stick them in a bag. You slide them into your car, truck, whatever, however you're storing it, and take it real easy. I don't really do that with mine because I have a trailer that I haul all my stuff in, so I just throw it in the back and leave it set up. But you don't have to do that. But these Larry chairs are phenomenal. Super comfortable, easy to use, and just great, and I love them to death. And it's a game changer on the water, just a game changer on the water. So, and they're about $70. I think I got mine for right around $70, 65, 70 bucks, something like that. But yeah, worth it. Is worth its weight in gold, you know, definitely worth it. Super comfortable, you can't go wrong. So, and I got my NRS PFD here. Yeah, no, that's self-explanatory. You should always be wearing a PFD when you're fishing, even though sometimes I don't. You should. I only do that though when I'm fishing with other people and they're right beside me. When I'm fishing by myself, I always have a PFD on, always. So that's what we got there. Larry chair, phenomenal. You gotta have it. Super comfortable, and you will thank me for it later. So yeah, get that. So moving down here, the way the Larry chair is strapped on, just so you guys know, is I got the short Vibe straps, which I got from Vibe. They're not really expensive, super cheap, and I bought, I think, 8 of them. So I have 2 spares. It takes 4 to strap down the chair, and then 2 on the cooler. And yeah, phenomenal, super cheap, well worth it. They work great. They're just pull and done, and it's good. So I've got them strapped down right here, so the chair's there, so you can see the chair's not going anywhere. It's in place. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I can pick up the whole kayak with it. So I got one here, one on the other side, everywhere, and they're good to go. And so yeah, so super awesome, real easy to install, quick. Either they hook to these little latches right here. There's actually 6 of them. There's one here, and there's one in the middle that I'm not using because I only used 4. But my pouch here covers it up. Now, to get to one of the good things, oh yeah, let's go to the paddle real quick. This is a carbon fiber nanotechnology paddle from Field & Stream. Super light, super awesome. It's about $109, I think, is what they cost. And so that's what we got on this right now. I have a fiberglass one that's it's pretty light too. That's a Field & Stream one. Those are actually a little bit cheaper. They're like 70 bucks, but I definitely recommend getting the carbon fiber. I mean, after having this one, that one is now going to be a spare, you know. And I actually need to get another one of these because this is actually my girlfriend's paddle. Love you, honey. But yeah, so yeah, this is a great paddle. We're gonna get another one, and Vibe actually, the new ones, they're not coming with paddles, but the 2018 models of the Sea Ghost and stuff actually came with paddles, and they're not bad. They're aluminum paddles, but once you get into using one of these super light ones, you're never going to go back. And a really good paddle makes a difference, so don't chimp on the paddles. As soon as you can afford to upgrade one, definitely get one. It'll make a world of difference for you, I promise. So now let's move to this nifty little thing. The storage for tackle and gear. This has been one thing that has been a huge issue with a lot of guys, trying to figure out how they can store stuff and wanting side stuff and being able to store things and have things, you know, ready to go so they're not having to turn around all the time. Now, I researched a whole bunch of things, and there's actually a guy out there that makes a really cool thing that mounts here, and it's hard, and it'll hold one box, and it holds a few pliers and everything, and he makes one for each side. And I think they run about $70 or $80 for that setup, and that was a little high for me. And what motivated me to do this and figure this out was that I saw several posts on the Vibe site about people trying to figure out how to do this. And you know, we're all on a budget. I'm on a budget. I'm a 100% disabled retired veteran. I live off of a disability, so I only have so much money, and I'm thankful that I was able to sell things that I already had to be able to buy the kayaks that I have. And it was stuff I had when I retired, and I've been downsizing, and through that downsizing I've been able to get this stuff. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. But let's get back into this. So I'm going to tell you what I did. First of all, I'm going to show you all the stuff I have in it, and then I'll tell you what I did and what kind of bag it is. So on this side, I have one tackle box that is actually crankbaits, and this is actually all 6 cents baits and stuff. Love 6 cents in a plain old box. I do recommend getting the watertight ones, and I'm slowly upgrading all these to watertight ones, but these are actually cool. And if this falls in the water, it doesn't sink right away, so you can usually grab it because it's usually floating on top. There are some there sitting in it, so not really a big deal, but the sealed ones are definitely cooler and way better. So I have one of those in here. That's pretty much crankbaits that I throw, and then this is also some other crankbaits right here. So I've got more crankbaits right there, which are stored in this pouch right here. So I've got a bunch of crankbaits on this side, which is really cool. Then I've got some tools. I've got my grippers right here. So grippers, and I have it hooked on to a leash and stuff, but I can unhook it. So this is just so if it falls or something, I don't lose it. But if I need to take it off because I need to reach over to get a fish, all I gotta do is take this nifty little thing right here and unhook it, and it's apart, and I can use it that way too. And then when I'm done, I can just put it back on there, and I can stick it back where it belongs, and it belongs in there. So that's where my fish grippers are at. So I got some grippers on here so I can grab those toothy critters when I need to. These are actually the smaller size, and they work fine. I can grab the big fish with these just fine. It's easier. So that's what goes in there. And then I've got some tools right here. I got my pliers right here. They're on a bungee. So getting the hooks out of the fish's mouth, and the bungee is hooked right here to the front. There's this neat metal piece right here that allows me to hook a bunch of different stuff there. So that's hooked there. Got my pliers right there, and my pliers go back here. There's an actual pouch right in here where they go into, and then I've got a hook sharpener in there as well that goes in that pouch. Yeah, you should always have a hook sharpener, because once you snag on enough logs or snag on enough things, or catch enough fish, you need to make sure those hooks are sharp so you can catch those fish so you're not losing them. So I always have a hook sharpener on all my stuff, you know, kayak, boat, whatever I got going on. And so that's pretty much what I got stuck in here. And then on the front here, I've got my clippers for snipping my line, cutting whatever I need to cut right there. And all I do is fold that back up, and it locks right in there, and it's back out of the way. And it's hooked on there too. So I have 3 different things hooked on this metal piece right here that holds all my stuff in place. And then my clippers are actually, I just run them around the leg of my chair right here, so they're out of the way and stuff. So all that stuff is right there. It's readily available. I'm left-handed, so that's why it's on the left side. If you're right-handed, you might stick it on the right side. But I'm a lefty, even though I cast with my left hand, reel with my right and stuff. I'm still a lefty. And so yeah, so I like my stuff on the left side. So that's what I got in there. Now let's talk about this bag. All right, I figured out a solution for you guys, and this is something that a reason why I wanted to really do this whole video was this bag is actually an electrician's tool pouch. Yeah, that's what I said. An electrician's tool pouch. So check this out, guys. You can go to either Lowe's or Home Depot, and you can get a tool pouch, either carpenter's tool pouch or electrician's. I recommend the electrician's ones because they're kind of harder and they open more the way that they're designed. And for about, I think this one was I'll say 45 bucks. It comes with both pouches and stuff. It comes with a belt and all this harness stuff that you don't need. But for 45 bucks and a piece of PVC pipe and some 550 cord, I was able to rig this up. So what I did is I went to my local Lowe's, and I was looking for pouches, trying to figure it out. Now, I used to do construction back when I was younger, so I kind of thought maybe something like this would work. So I started looking, and I found this electrician's pouch. And this is an AWP one. And all I got to tell you is that it holds so much stuff, and it's set up so nice, and all the pouches are right there, that it was phenomenal. And I knew that this would hold one of these 3600 tackle boxes, and knew that would work, and it actually holds more stuff than I ever thought it could, and it sits on here really nicely. It's not going anywhere. Now what I did to mount this on the Larry chair, now check this out, because this is really cool. A couple things that come with that pouch is, see these straps right here, these nifty little straps right here? They actually were rings that are on that electrician's pouch. So you really need to go for the electrician's pouch, because these actually came on the electrician's pouch with it. So I didn't have to buy these, and they came with a D-ring already attached. And I already had some 550 cord, and the only other thing I needed to get besides this pouch was I bought, this is a 1 or 1.5 inch piece of PVC pipe. I can't remember what it is. And I cut it down to, I want to say, I think it was 13 inches. Just measure this here. And then I hooked these D-rings on there, took a piece of I drilled holes through it, tied 550 cord through it, tied it to the D-rings, hooked them on there, and boom, it's mounted. Super simple mount. Really crazy, easy to do, and it's on there. It's all hooked on there, and it's not going anywhere. And the really awesome thing is this is Velcro, so if I want to take it off, I just undo it like that, and then I can take the whole pouch off, and I can do it on both sides. And then when I want to put it back on, I just run it through the D-ring, wrap it back around, snug it up, and it's back on there and not going anywhere. So you can remove those to collapse your chair, and then you put them back on wherever you're going. I leave them on there. I don't have any reason to take them off. I just take my stuff out when I stick it in the trailer, and then I put it all back in when I gotta go. I actually take all this out, and it all gets dumped in this crate, and then when I go to set it all up, I just put it all and get it out. So there you go. There's a solution for you guys right there. The solution is, go to your local hardware store, look at some of the different tool belts out there and stuff. You can take them things apart. These things slide on, so it had a belt that slid through there, which I just took out of it. Took a piece of PVC pipe, hooked it up, and boom, I've got storage tackle for days, and wait till I show you the other side. I have one Plano box on this side, but on the other side, I actually have 2 Plano boxes stuck in there, and I still have room for more stuff, which is crazy. So let's move on back a little bit further and show you some more stuff. Alright guys, so the next thing I got going on here is I got the Vibe cooler. I love this cooler. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. They're like 130 bucks, and yeah, the heck with Yeti. I mean, these things are phenomenal and way cheaper, and super awesome. That's where I keep my drinks, my cooler, everything I need in there. Food, water for the day. Super awesome, and I love this thing. It's phenomenal, and yeah, it's going to be on my yak forever now. So these are also hooked up with the short Vibe straps. You know, these are real easy straps. I'll show you how easy these are. It just has a little clip button right there. You run it through, you pull it down, snug it up, just like that, boom, and then you're good. And I just throw this over here and it's out of the way, no problems. This has got a drain plug right here, so you can drain out your cooler after you're done, which is super nice as well, so you can drain that out when you want to. I usually just dump it out. I don't have to worry about doing that stuff. And then I have the ram mounts here that I put on there that hooks through it. These things, found them on eBay. You get a pair of them for like 15 bucks. A little bit cheaper than the Yak Attack ones. So yeah, so the Vibe cooler, Vibe straps hooked on there, and you can see that's not going anywhere either. And then just flip it down, put it together, and move on. And we're gonna move on to the next thing. All right, so I had to answer some things for my son real quick, because he's like, "What are you doing, Dad?" And he's 9. Anyway, so moving on back, the next thing we went through the Vibe cooler. It's there, super awesome. Check those out. They're phenomenal. They're on the website, and you guys can check them out. So moving on back, then I got my yak crate right here, and that is strapped on. The way I do my yak crate and the way I hook it up is I have a bungee cord that hooks to this one on this side, this ram mount on this side, and then it goes around, hooks on the other one. And if you look right in here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have 2 D-rings hooked in there that I run it through that grab it on the front, so it's not going anywhere right there. And then on the back right here, I use the bungee that is on the back of the kayak itself, or on the back of the Maverick 120 itself. And I have more D-rings right here, and I just pick it up and hook it there, and it's got rings right there, and that locks that crate into place. It's not going anywhere. So that's what I got right there. And then I made my own little rod leash holders and stuff, so these are super easy to use. What did I do there? I'm a goof. Oh, I know what I did. So these are super easy. It's a piece of 550 cord, and it's just a little carabiner clip that you got at Walmart. They're super cheap, and you just can clip it right onto your rod like that. So, and if it tries to pop out, it's not going anywhere. You got it. You can get it back, and that's an easy way to do it. Or if you don't want to do it that way, you can actually go around like this. And if you want to do super secure, you can hook it here. You can hook it back to itself, like so. And if you hook it to itself, then it's on there. And then if it falls out, most of the time it's probably not even coming out of the well. So works both ways. I designed it that way so I could do easy and hard. Like, you know, when I first get paddling stuff, I'll hook it that way. But then once I get the fishing, I just clip them on here, and it works well. So, and then I just hook it in the middle when I'm not using it. I have 2 of them there. So there's one here too that I use. Each one, I just change these all around. So, and then they just hook right here when I'm not using them. I run 2 spinning rods. So I run 2 spinning reels and 3 bait casters usually. Usually I either have 4 or 5 rods when I'm fishing. No more than 5 when I'm on the kayak. Usually 1 in the front and these in the back. A lot of times I'm usually just taking 4. Basically for this video I threw an extra one in there, but most of the time I'm usually fishing just with 4, 2 bait casters and 2 spinning reels. I like that, but having an extra one's not bad, so it's not a big deal. And for my rod setups, I am sponsored by Enigma, so I'm running Enigma spinning rods and reels, Enigma bait casters, and Enigma rods as well. If you guys haven't checked them out, check out Enigma rods and reels. They're pretty awesome. I like them. Love being a part of the company, and yeah, just really great rods and reels, and I've been enjoying fishing them this year. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Check them out. I mean, we all have our preferences. We all have what we like, but I really like Enigma, and they picked me up and been really good to me so far, so I got 0 complaints. So yeah, love them to death. And if you want to know more about that, I have videos on my rods and reels, or you can contact me and I'll be happy to tell you if you want to know. And then in the back here, I've got soft plastics. I got tons of soft plastics. Maybe I can show you guys that. Right through there. See, so you can look down there, all kinds of soft plastics right in here, and then I got other I got 4 more boxes right there. Just tons of different baits and things in there that I'm using. And if you look in there, I've got lots of Z-Man stuff, tons of Z-Man stuff, and Googan baits as well. Like Googan baits a lot. I'm actually on their pro staff as well. And yeah, Team Googan. Yeah, definitely go for it. So super good baits. If you guys haven't tried out Googan baits, you really should too, because they're actually some really good baits. I mean, I'm not saying that because I don't use them. I do use them, and I was actually using them way before I ever became on their pro staff for them. So yeah, I started using them. I liked them. They're really good baits. They catch a lot of fish, and I have 0 complaints with them. So check them out. And either you like them or you don't. I mean, we all have our preferences. We like to fish. So yeah, we're gonna move around to the other side now, and I'm gonna show you everything that I have rigged up on the other side. Alright guys, so now we're on the other side of the kayak, and I know my head's kind of cut off, but I want you to see this, not really worried about me. So we don't need to go up the front. I already showed you the whole front stuff. Moving back here, I've got this cup holder. I actually, when I don't have bait stuffed in it, I have a drink in it. But this is kind of something that when I take a bait off a lot of times because I want it to dry out, I just throw it in that cup. And even when I do that, I'll stick a drink on top of it sometimes. So it's a great little add-on to use for either throwing your baits in there when you're using them, or having a drink in the front and sticking there. I mean, you can actually throw a drink underneath your deck. I've done that before and don't have a problem with it. So I have a cup holder right there, and then I move back to the other side of my Larry chair, and I'll show you how this pouch is set up and what I got on this side. Alright guys, so now we move down, got the Larry chair again, got another pouch right here. This is the same pouch that came, this is the other pouch that came on the tool pouch that I bought, and it's an electrician's pouch. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to keep reiterating. These are electrician's pouches, and that's the ones that actually are nice and wide that allow you to hold all this stuff. The carpenter pouches, not so much unless you find one, but you can look at them, and you can find those pouches between $30 and $50 all day long at either Home Depot or Lowe's, or even check out Walmart. But over here, just to show you guys what I got going on, I've actually got 2 3600 boxes there. I got my terminal tackle, which I always like to have right here, and then I've got a bunch of Senkos in this box right here, and I like to keep those right there because I like to fish the Senkos a lot. And this is kind of where I keep my soft plastics that I'm starting with. So depending on what I'm fishing with, whether it's frogs or Googan baits, that'll be one in here. But if you look right now, I've got tons of Z-Man stuff because I'm a big Z-Man guy. This is the Yoga Pants TRD Hog Z. This is the June Bug Finesse Shad Z, which is awesome right there. This is the TRD Crawl and Mud Bug. This is the Hula Stick and Molten Crawl, and this is a Green Pumpkin Goby Trick Shot Z, and these things are just killers. And so most of the time, if you look on my rods and stuff, I usually have some sort of Ned rig tied on, some type of Ned rig bait on my spinning rods because I love them and they catch me tons of fish. And if you guys have been following my videos this year, you've seen lots of big fish that I pulled off of fishing all this Ned rig stuff. And I just love Z-Man products. They're phenomenal. So that's what I got here. This pouch is super big. It allows you to have, and there's more room to stick even more baits in here. That's just all what I have up here right now. Same thing I got rigged up. It came with, so that belt came with these straps like I was telling you guys, these Velcro straps, and I've got one here and one here. I got the PVC pipe running through there. It runs through the bag where the belt used to be, and then I used 550 cord to tie it up, and it holds it on there perfectly. It's not sitting in the water. It sits right on the kayak. It's not going to fall off. Even if it moves out a little bit, it's just hanging right there. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, just a really, really easy way to get yourself some more storage on your Vibe Maverick 120. And I kept thinking about it. I saw so many people asking about it and talking about how, if anybody had any other ways to do this. And so this is my way. This is what I came up with. It works super great. It's not going to fall off. It's not going to break. It holds a lot of gear. I like having my stuff right at my ready access and not having to reach around too much to grab stuff unless I'm just grabbing a rod. And so I really like that a lot. And it's really just, it's a game changer for this, for sure. So same thing on the back. If we move back to the back right here, it's all the same setups and stuff. I mean, I got the same deal. I've got my clips here for my rods. And just to show you guys how these rod leashes work real quick, for your bait casters, you have options as well. If I can unhook that. So I designed these so I can take this and just go around my bait caster like this and then clip it. And it's not going nowhere. You're on there, you've got your stuff, it's not going to fall out of there. See, it won't even come all the way out. You're not going to lose your rod. But if it's just during the day and you're trying to figure out, stuff, and you don't want to have to take the time to go run that around like that, you can actually just take it, and with my reels, because they have an open thing, I can just clip it right there on the handle, like so. And then same thing, if it falls out, it's still hooked to you and you're not going to lose it. Those are your options. Different ways you can hook it, different ways you can clip it, really up to you. Personally, with my bait casters, I just wrap it around. It's real easy to just do this real quick. It doesn't take but a second to hook it around there. I mean, it's just a matter of doing this. Clipping, and you're hooked in there, and you're not gonna lose your rod, so you won't even come all the way out of the holder. So, yeah, if you guys are fishing, if you guys are doing that ocean fishing and all that crazy stuff, you guys definitely might want to think about that. I mean, this is a really cheap fix. I mean, it's like $2 for a little bit of 550 cord or something, or if you buy a big roll, it's like $5 or $10, and then these little clips are like 89 cents for two, and you can't go wrong. Really easy fix. And I just have them looped around on there on my pack, and that's it, And same thing. Here's the other side bungee that hooks my pack on. So my pack's strapped on there. Here's my strap there for the cooler, everything else, and there you go. My straps here. These straps are really easy. Like I said, hooking up these Vibe straps even to the chair. It's a matter of just putting it on there and taking it, and holding it, snugging it, and boom, the chair's on there. You're not going nowhere. And I just, I usually take those straps and just pitch them under there. It's not a big deal. Or you can wrap them around, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. But, yeah, that's it. This is a great solution for you guys that are looking for a way to have some storage on the side and not spend a fortune doing it. I think I have, to do both sides total, I have like $50 in it. And that's, the pouch and then some PVC. Some 550 cord, and like I said, those rings actually came with it. But even if these rings didn't come with it, you could go buy a couple D-rings and some Velcro that wraps around. They make little Velcro things, and if you can't find them, check out like a music place, because they actually use them to tie around to wrap up cords and stuff, and you could wrap one up and do it the same way very easily. And it just holds your gear on there, man. I mean, I really can't complain how that works. I mean, it really works good. Unless you flip this over, you're not losing your stuff. You are not flipping this Maverick. I mean, you are going to fall off of it before you ever flip it, unless you guys are doing ocean fishing. I don't ocean fish, and I know that the ocean can get gnarly, and I know the ocean can flip anything. So if you guys are ocean fishing, yeah, that's a whole different ball game. I fish lakes and rivers. I don't shoot crazy whitewater rapids or anything like that. And when the weather gets really nasty, I get off the water. I don't care if I'm in a tournament or whatever. I'm not risking my life to catch a fish. No tournament, no fish is worth dying for. So yeah, I back off of that. So there you go. Alright, so one of the other things I have here is I have my paddle leash. It's right here. I just didn't hook it on the paddle today, but these things are a lifesaver. I definitely recommend you getting one of these. It just hooks onto your paddle. When it's pulled apart, you just put that through there and you put it together. And that way, if you drop it or if it falls off, you can get it back, and you're not having to try to paddle with your hand to get it back. And the other thing I have on here is a donkey leash. And this donkey leash, this can be a lifesaver for you. And I'll tell you why. I was actually out fishing, and this happened to me twice. And that's why I decided to get one of these. So, and I actually have a video you guys will see where I caught this carp, and he ended up bouncing out in front of the kayak, and then he finally bounced out of the kayak. If I had this on there, I would have got some more pictures of him, but he ended up back in the water. And then I almost lost a big bass. He actually flipped off my deck, and I was on this, flipped in the water. Fortunately, he was still hooked, and I was able to get him back. But one of the things that I do now when I get the big fish is I take this bad boy and clip it on there. And if you guys don't know how this works, it's got a little release right in there. And it's got little clips right there, and you just push that and it pops open the jaws. Okay, and so your jaws are open. Then, excuse me, you take this, you hook it on his lip, clip, and then you got your fish. And then you can put him back in the water. He can sit there and he can recover and do all this stuff while you're getting your camera and everything ready and mess around with whatever you need to mess with to make it happen. And then you're good to go. And then you can pull your fish back up, take your pictures and everything, and then you can release them. And all you got to do to release them is hit that thing again, it pops open, and the fish is gone. And what I do now, when I get those big fish, when he's still in the net, because I usually have a net on here, I forgot to bring my net out, so apologize for that, but I usually have a net on here too. Is the new thing for me to do is when he's in the net, take this donkey leash, even while the hook's still on him, you know, unless it's crazy hooks and stuff, but get the pliers out, get the hooks out, hook him on the donkey leash, clip it together, then I'll pull him out, hold him up, do all that nifty stuff. That's my new rule of thumb. And that way, if he wiggles out or he drops or whatever, he's hooked on, and if he flops back in the water, I still got him, so I can get those pictures and get that video that I want to get, you know. And then I can just put him back in the water and go boom. So if you guys are chasing big donks like I am, this could be a lifesaver from you dropping it in there. And even if you guys are doing kayak tournaments and stuff, when you first get that fish and stuff, you can clip this on him. You can sit there and get your trough and get everything set up, and then you can pick him up and set him on the trough with the donkey leash, and then you can release him while he's on there and hold him down there. And that may help you better to not have him flip off your measuring board and fall back in the water, because that does happen, and that really sucks when that happens. So yeah, that's one of the other things I do have on my kayak too. These things are like 16 or 18 bucks, I can't remember, but definitely recommend you having one of these on your kayak as well. So there you go, on to the next thing. So I hope you guys like that. I hope that gave you guys some ideas on some things that you might want to do with your Maverick 120. I really love these. I love this company. I mean, if you guys don't know anything about Vibe, then you should do some research, because the owners, I mean, there's a Vibe website, there's a Vibe owners group that you can get on, and the owners will get on there and actually chat with you. I mean, I've I've chatted with Joshua and Miriam several times, and they will comment on your post, they will comment back and forth, and it's just super cool. Even my girlfriend, she just bought her first Vibe Seaghost 110, the new 2019 in Galaxy color, and she posted her pics, and Miriam, Joshua's wife, was actually talking to her, and she just thought that was the coolest thing in the world, that they actually take the time to do that. So yeah, so if you guys don't know anything about these people, I mean, you really should take the time to learn about them and check them out, because they're super awesome kayaks. They're made very well. The customer service is top notch, and you just can't go wrong with it, you know. I mean, you just really can't go wrong with it. It's just a great product. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't own 3 of them, and technically 4, because my girlfriend has one now, so we have a fleet of them. And yeah, it's awesome. And I like having the extras, because I like taking people out and letting people test them out so they can get hooked on vibes, you know. So yeah, awesome. And you know, hey Vibe, I would love to be on your pro staff, so hook me up, because I love your stuff and I love promoting it. Yeah, give me a shout. Well, everybody, that's about all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this overview of the Maverick 120 and how I have mine set up. I hope my little mod here helps you guys out. I hope that you guys check that out. Like I said, that's an electrician's tool bag pouch that I got at Lowe's. I have about $50 set up and everything to actually have it hooked up, including getting the pouch and getting the stuff that I needed to hook it up. And yeah, great little mod, holds everything that I needed to hold and works great. And I hope that helps some of you guys come up with some ideas and you check some stuff out, because you can find tool pouches between 30 and 50 bucks. So it really depends on how you want to set it up. This is just how I did mine. So I hope that helps you guys out. I hope that you know, it gives you some more ideas of how to do some stuff. And for those of you guys that are wanting to check out the Maverick 120s or already have Maverick 120s, I hope this helps you guys as well. You know, for me, I'm a little bit bigger dude, 5'9", 220 pounds. This thing is phenomenal. I mean, it's awesome, and I love it. And I think I'm trying to get my girlfriend into one, so she'll buy one. She just got a Seaghost 110, but I want to get her out on this and see if she likes one of these, so we can get her one of these too. Yeah, check them out. And like I said, you know, Vibe has a deal. The 2008 models are $100 off, so there's still a few left. I know Bob's Up the Creek Outfitters has a few, and I know Vibe still had a couple on their site. So yeah, check them out. They're pretty cool. And yeah, I hope this helps. You know, this is how I run it. I do have some stuff that I'm going to be adding to it. I have an anchor wizard that's going to be going on. I have some electronics I'm going to be adding on, and when I get that, I'll do an updated video. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps out. Love you guys, Vibe, and love Vibe Kayaks. Phenomenal. Just great business, great corporation, great group of people. Can't say enough about them. And yeah, check them out. Definitely check them out. So yeah, if you guys could do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that ding dong button, all those things you got to do for YouTube, share button, everything like that. And if you guys are interested in testing out some of these vibes, if you live in the Virginia area and you're close to Charlottesville, shoot me a message, hit me up. Be happy to let you test out any one of the vibes that I own, and you can see if you like them or not. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Stay tuned to more videos to come, and just do yourself a favor, get out there, get your lines wet, and catch some fish.